Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Porchville. I am your host, Nick, and with me, as always, is my man, Cody.
Hey, guys.
Cody Yashi, what's happening, brother?
Not much, man. Loving life, living good.
You feeling good tonight?
Every night.
Are you ready for tonight?
Boy, born ready.
So tonight is a big night.
Agreed, baby.
It's a big night, man. It's our first fucking guest tonight. PorchvillePodcast.com. Check us out there. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Stitcher, iTunes. You can download us there. So make sure you subscribe to us, throw us some love and all that good stuff. And over here to my right, for the first time on the Porchville podcast, is my lovely wife, Katie. Katie, say hello to the people of Porchville.
The Porch Mama.
Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
Fantastic. How you doing over there?
Peachy.
Peachy?
Making my way to Rosie.
Making her way to Rosie. She's bringing the spice.
I don't understand what that means. She's been saying it for years, but I just kind of roll with it. So,
Rosie's was a bar in Newberry.
a bar in Newberry? I didn't know that.
I think that's a great intro to our.
That's a great intro for our
tonight.
guest.
Or was that Trenton?
The first guest in Porchville, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Mr. Troy Fisher.
Troy Fisher.
Troy, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right.
You doing all right?
This is definitely different.
Well, that's what we aim for, is to be different. So, a little bit about Troy. FisherPhotography.com. You can find him on Facebook, and definitely check out his Instagram page, Fisher Photography. That is Fisher Photography, Photography, which is awesome. He's got some good shit. I've seen it. But I did. He's also, a little known fact about Troy is that he's also a hairdresser, because just this afternoon, I was like, hey, this is what time we're starting up. Come on over about 8 o'clock. And Troy said to me, that's cool because it gives me more time to color my wife's hair. And I told you I was going to bring that up, didn't I?
Yeah.
So how did that go?
It went well.
It went well. Was she happy with it?
Of course.
And what's your wife's name?
Lisa.
Lisa. How long you guys been married?
Almost 26 years.
20.
Jesus.
That's incredible.
That's
man.
awesome.
That's incredible.
That's awesome. Congratulations. I know you guys got some kids. You got what? Three? Three. Boy.
2 boys and
Two
a girl.
boys and a girl.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's like perfect. Living the dream.
Yeah, we thought that we would be good at 2, but the second one turned out to be a boy. So we were kind of hoping that, because we wanted to do a boy and a girl, and we were hoping that, like, fate didn't mess us up, and he was.
Yeah,
But anyhow,
it doesn't.
So, we strive for another one.
It doesn't go the way you want it. It just goes the way it goes.
And you're never ready, man. No
No.
one's ever ready to be a parent. I
No.
don't care how ready you think you are. You're never ready to be a parent.
Katie and I were pretty lucky because that was our goal. You know, we wanted a boy and wanted a girl, so we had our boy, and luckily we had the girl second, because I'm fairly certain that regardless, Katie would have been like, nope, shut down. That's it. We're done. Baby making factories closed for business. So, which is fine too. Jesus, like I couldn't imagine having a third one right now.
So let's talk about Troy here, man. Let's let the listeners know what he's actually doing. He's a photographer right now. He shoots. You shoot live bands. What all do you shoot, man? What's this?
Well, what have you shot? Like let's talk about your achievements.
Because there's got to be some stuff that's just like.
I shoot pretty much anything that moves.
I like it.
That sounds kind of wrong, but
It's not wrong at all, man. Not at all. Not at all.
Or you can leave that to interpretation, which it would be a wrong interpretation, but anyhow.
Well, so with your pictures, am I dumbing that down to photographs, pictures? What's the term?
The preferred term would probably be images.
Images. Okay. I'm probably gonna fuck that up like 30 times.
That's okay.
Minimum.
I do too, all the time.
Where do you? Where are some of the places that your images have been published? Where do people go to see that sort of stuff?
My sites. I was in Guitar World.
Oh shit!
That's awesome.
Slayer actually shared one of my photos.
Really?
In
was that
in
from
a press release?
Was that from the
Yeah.
recent?
That was from Leg 5, promoting Leg 6.
Nice.
That's straight metal right there, dude.
Your Slayer's pretty sick.
That is straight.
I did. I
metal.
saw the. I saw some of the pictures that you took of him, man. Just, I love your work, and that's one of the biggest reasons, that I wanted to bring you on was just because I wanted to hear you talk about it, because the shit that you put out is fucking beautiful, man. I love it, and that's I'm biased, because some of those pictures are of me, and I think those were fantastically done. So
Yeah, that sexy one with the cigarette.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's one of my profile pictures I put in rotation time to time. So
We should do a boudoir shoot.
a what?
A boudoir.
A boudoir?
Boudoir.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
It is.
Are dudes really doing boudoir shoots?
What's that?
Well, you got boudoir, which are like women in the bedroom, looking
Oh.
sexy kind of things,
Yes.
and they're not even like it's not like they're. We're not talking like porn or anything. We're just
Right,
talking
classy.
like tastefully done,
Yeah.
like
Playboy
something
does.
kind of draped off the shoulders, some shit like that.
Black and
you know.
white, or
Or-
those color?
Anything.
Anything,
Whatever you want.
Anything goes.
dude. That's gotta be awesome, dude. I need to hook you up with my wife, man. I need some of that. I need some of that for the old spank bank, bro.
You obviously did not do your research.
I need some of that for my spank bank. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sitting here looking at just the bands that you cover, man, and I'm seeing just a freaking wealth of talent that you cover, man.
Well, see, I check his Instagram pretty regular, so I get to see all the
real
other
shit.
stuff, which is it's great. So, well, we can talk about some of those really awesome shit too. Like one of the ones that you just posted was that bridge shot with the sparks shooting all over hell from the steel wool, man.
One of the
Yeah.
coolest things
Like,
I've seen.
One, and I know you had a ladder getting up there because
Yeah.
you posted a picture. Did you?
It's a 20-foot extension ladder.
Did you like edit the ladder out, or did you?
No, I had a model that was there.
Oh, okay. I was
And
wondering about that.
that's why I only took one shot, because she wasn't able. She was having difficulty getting the ladder back to me after she took it down, and I was like, "Oh, fuck this shit! I am only gonna take one picture. I swear to God, I hope it's good." I got down off the ladder. When she got to it, I went and looked at the picture I just took, and I was like, "Oh, sweet Jesus, it's good. I'm gone. We're good."
It's
Bye."
it's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
I
how long did
absolutely love it.
that shoot take? I mean, so for the listeners who don't know, this photo that he's taking about, he's found this really stoic looking bridge, and he's climbed up, or his model has climbed up to the top of it, and there's just sparks emanating from this bridge in this circular fashion coming from, I'm not sure quite how he's doing it, but it is absolutely
wool, man.
gorgeous. man.
Steel wool.
It is gorgeous. I was blown away by how much awe that made me feel. I was like, man, that's cool.
Well, there was another one that we saw too that was inside of the. It's like a tunnel, like an overpass of some sort,
Yes,
and the
that was
whole thing is filled with sparks.
Oh yeah, that's over in Palatka.
Oh, well, that one is equally as fucking awesome. I absolutely loved it. So
So my daughter goes to school over in St. Augustine, and I drive through Palatka quite often, and I drive under this railroad bridge, and I always picture, I want to do this, I want to do this. Jesus Christ.
Sexy, baby.
hey,
Yeah.
Yingling's
Oh,
getting
man.
after you.
Yeah, the burps, boy, it's crazy. So I drive and I drive and I drive, and then one time we're driving back, and I'm like, oh shit, it's blocked off for construction. There's nobody there, because the concern is always, safety, if you're gonna get run over, or police involvement or
Of course.
whatnot. And it's bad enough you putting sparks out, but fire department and whatnot.
A lot of sparks.
But yeah, so,
Pretty sizable fucking amount.
well, that shoot that you're speaking of, I did it 5 times. So I took literally five pictures. Drove an hour to take 5 fucking pictures.
That's
Man.
awesome. Dedication to the craft.
Yeah. So when I saw that it was cut off on both ends, and it was kind of isolated. I wouldn't have road traffic. I was like, sweet, I'm in there.
Yeah, it really
And,
it
and
looked
I-
amazing.
And literally, I talked to my wife. And I was like, babe, I'm gonna leave work on Wednesday night, and I'm gonna go shoot this, and then I'll be home. It wasn't like something I did on the weekend because I had just seen it, and
Yeah.
and I was like, I
So-
gotta do it before it like cuts off.
Oh yeah.
So does your wife support the photography, or is
She-
it kind of like hit or miss?
She's a trooper.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a trooper. She loves me, so
That's awesome.
Well, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
really is all that matters,
Yeah.
man. I
Like
mean, dude,
that.
I see the work that you're doing though, and I'm blown away, man. Like those, I really think that those spark pictures, you're on to something huge there, buddy. Like that is just one of the coolest things. I've never seen something like that in
Yeah.
photography. You know what I mean? Like I thought that was super neat, and it looked really playful even. You know what I mean? I think that's great, man.
yeah, add a little flair to it. It's called steel wool photography. Basically, you put steel wool in a whisk and on the end of a rope, and you swing it around. But I put something in there a little special for that picture that adds a little hot white to it, and I can't give out that. So
Hey,
We're not going to press you for your secrets, man. It's all good.
No.
Now, do you like doing, like those type of shots? Which what would that be considered? Is that kind of like an experimental sort of thing? Like you're just getting out there playing with the camera and seeing what you come up with?
I consider that creative. I much prefer creative over anything else.
Yeah.
Because I can do pretty much what I want, and I can say what I want.
yeah, we know what you're talking about. We're trying to do the same thing here, baby.
Yeah.
When I do concert photos, I'm stuck with waiting for an artist to do a certain shot, or I'm looking for a certain angle. So
Well, and that's one thing we were talking about with the concert photography. Like, have you always been into? Because I mean, I've seen you out at shows, whether you got a camera in your hand or not. Like, you've always just sort of been into the music in general. And I wondered, like, how important is that for a concert photographer? Because now, being somebody who's spent a significant amount of time on stage, I know that there are points in a set when we're doing our thing, and those breaks, so where the drums smash the crash cymbals, and everything's going nuts, whatever. There's a break in the music that's timed, whatever. I would imagine that those are kind of the spots you come to familiarize yourself with and watch for, because the musicians on stage generally do something in those moments. So is that sort of something you look for?
yeah, each artist is different. So if you go into something cold, you're pretty much screwed unless you're just lucky.
Right.
Other than that, if you've shot an artist before, or you've seen them on film, or you've seen them in general before, you kind of have an idea, like, oh, on this song, they're going to do this. Oh, if this guy gets on the drum riser, post up, because he's more than likely going to jump.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, 9 times out of 10, he's going to jump.
Singer-
And that other time that he doesn't jump, I'm cussing him out. I'm
Singers-
like, you motherfucker,
Singers,
what the fuck?
Singers love jumping off drum risers, let me tell you. We was doing a show in Orlando at a place called the Lost and Found. I think it's long gone nowadays, but I actually
It's
jumped.
been lost.
Yeah, I jumped off the riser, and my boot came apart mid-air, and I landed weird. Yeah, it was great times, good times, but
You needed someone like Troy to get that on camera, man. That way we could have it on the
I'm-
wall.
I'm certain he would have captured it. So when you do the concert, like, do you have somebody that's like a favorite of yours? Is it like a local or national, or who's your favorite artist that you've shot?
My favorite national to shoot by far is In This Moment.
Yeah.
Beautiful fucking pictures.
That would be my answer.
They are incredibly visual too.
And yeah, they might not like this, but I liken them to Cher,
right.
where there's a costume change
Yeah.
Almost every song.
Yep.
They're very theatrical.
Oh yeah.
It's a big production, and it's beautiful.
Unfortunately, I've only seen them. I've seen them, I think, 3 times. The first time I saw them was before they really started getting into the theatrics. They were still doing "Welcome to the Gun Show" and stuff like that.
Welcome to the gun show.
I love that fucking song. But the second, the 2 other times I saw them, both at Rockville, we saw them, and it was during the day. Sorry, we had a little. My dog came running out, but I saw them during the day twice. And is it better to see them? I mean, because obviously, if you're watching them at night, the effects, the lights,
I can see the lighting.
It's all
going to
be a little
good
bit more.
Because
So
they're incredible with the way that the lighting they use, the costumes they
yeah.
use, the theatrics, and the music just brings so much energy. I don't think they have a choice but to bring all that else with it, or they'd just be lacking in something.
Yeah.
You know,
Nighttime is the best.
Yeah.
I saw them at Rockville, and it was a daytime show, and it was great.
Yeah.
It was one of those years I went to Rockville and didn't shoot, just enjoy the show like a normal human being. Yeah.
Now it's a thing. I didn't know this about concert photography, but you only get the first 3 songs. Is that
3 songs? That's typical. In this moment, every once in a while, they do allow you to do the whole set, because if they didn't, then they wouldn't have pictures of all their different.
Yeah, I think for like the
scenes.
first 3 songs, she like stood in like one place or something, arms outstretched, or and it really got interesting the later in the show it got.
Troy, I'll tell you this, man. Out of those moment pictures that you did take, those were probably some of my favorite pictures that you took of any of the artists. Man.
I've been very fortunate with them.
like absolutely stunning, man.
Now I know what's the singer's name?
It's Maria Brink.
Maria Brink. And now Maria was a fan as well.
Yes.
She personally reposted some of your stuff.
God, she's sexy.
If you want to call it a fan just because somebody reposted something, sure.
Well, I think if you're at that level though, that I'm sure that there's a million pictures that she comes across that she's tagged in every day, but to actually take the time and go, whoa, that's fucking amazing. And it was a beautiful, several of the pictures that
If she were a fan, I would be on tour.
Hey.
Is that the dream, man? Is that the dream to get out there? And
That was my 5-year dream.
that's a 5-year dream.
Yeah, I'm on year 4.
Year 4. So, well, you still got a year. Who knows?
Yeah.
People could hear this, Porchville pod and turn around and go to Fisher Photography, and man, it could just take off. You never know.
I mean, brother, I look at, like I said, I've looked at some of these names of these musicians that you've gone through, and it's like Cold Forward, In This Moment, Slayer, fucking Foo Fighters, Bring Me the Horizon, Alter Bridge, 311, Chevelle, Seven Dust. Like these are bands that you ain't just gonna be some Joe Blow off the street being like, hey, I'm gonna come take your pictures, bro.
Yeah, well, some of those were all at Rockville, so I could be just a Joe Blow.
Well,
there's a lot of Joe Blows at Rockville.
But there was one on the website in particular.
He's being modest.
He
He's
sounds
being
like
modest.
he sounds like he wants to get into something. I'm not sure. But before we go back to Rockville, one of the artists that you had on your site, and I love this, was Corey Feldman. How was that?
Okay, so that's the high dive. number one. I will hold my tongue a little bit for a certain owner, but anyhow, I love you. You know who you are. When I saw that show come around, I was like, "Oh my God, I have to shoot that."
You have to.
Because that is going to be the biggest fucking train wreck ever. I mean, you used to hang out with Michael Jackson.
Is he from Gainesville?
No.
What the fuck's he doing in Gainesville?
He trying to create a music career, you know. The Goonies 2 hasn't happened yet, so he's got to find something.
I kind of focused on his angels more than him.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he put like on the glove and it's like, oh my god.
No. What kind of music?
I don't know. Can I get another beer? Was all I wanted to fucking know. Oh my god.
So
and on that note, tip your bartenders.
Fucking A.
Tip your bartenders. Don't do
Jesus.
Don't do this. Do at least $1 a drink. At least $1 a drink.
If you're polite.
We were doing a show in Ocala at the world famous O'Malley's Alley, and this was forever ago. I mean, 15 years ago probably, and
it still is famous.
Great place. And there was this girl named Amy working the bar, and she was our favorite bartender. She used to set us up with this shot called the chocolate cake shot. Tasted just like fucking chocolate cake, believe it or not. I don't know how you make a lemon and sugar and frangelica and something else taste like chocolate cake, but I shit you not, just like it. She was bartending one night when we were doing a show, and there were some people that weren't tipping, and you know she had said something about it. And so when we got up on stage, I said, you know, make sure you fuckers tip your bartender, because Amy's the best, and if you don't tip her, we're gonna drag you out back and we're gonna kick the shit out of you. And this guy walks up and he throws down $50.
Sweet.
It was Chipper Jones of
Hey.
the fucking Atlanta Braves.
Dude, that guy's a legend.
Hanging out with Mike Hampton, who was pitching for the Braves
Oh
at
my
the time.
God.
I knew him from watching Yankees Mets Subway Series way back in the day, but yeah, you know, it was cool that you never know who's gonna fucking be there listening to your
Chipper
shit.
there, man. That's cool.
Who,
buddy.
I think they do spring trading around here or around
They must.
Ocala or
They
something
must,
like
man.
that. So,
I know the Yankees do it in Plant City down south.
so you know what? I want to before
He
we
was probably riding down Old Town Road.
before we go too much further, I suppose. I want to bring it back because you came to Gainesville in 1992.
Wow, you did a little bit.
I did a little bit of research. 92.
Okay.
So, where did you come? Where did you come from?
I
Before?
came from Fort Lauderdale. Had recently experienced Andrew. I was a young
Hurricane Andrew. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
not some man named Andrew.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Clarification is king, man. You know.
Yeah, well, you know. Yeah. So I had gone through Hurricane Andrew, and
that was a fucking trip, man.
yeah,
that
it was
some
kind of
shit.
interesting. My mom was working as a nurse, and she was working overnights, and so I was watching the news coverage of it. I forget the guy from the news station, the weather guy.
Jim Cantori?
No.
Because that's the only weather guy that matters.
No.
If Jim Cantori shows up in your fucking neighborhood, you're you know,
anyhow,
you're gonna lose some shingles.
As soon as the eye hit Homestead, the lights went out like 3 counties.
Yeah.
And I'm in South Broward, and so I was kind of bored. I was like, "Damn, what do I do?" I got on my bicycle
And rode around in a hurricane.
and rode around in the hurricane.
Dang.
And I was watching trees fall down on Orange Drive and Griffin Road in Davie, Florida,
That's wild.
and transformers blowing up.
You know, a little known fact. I learned this. I went to Disney World some years ago. With took the kids and everything. And there's a Dr. Seuss land.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's
cool,
at
man.
Disney.
It's at
Is it Universal? Universal, yeah. I fucked that up. But if you go through it, you notice there's all these trees that are, all these palm trees that are all over the place, and they're all bent at really strange angles.
Yeah.
Those are Hurricane Andrew affected palm trees.
No way.
Yeah,
I
they
don't know.
bent over and like fucked all these palm trees up from all the different.
I don't think that's 100% accurate.
I watched a documentary on
Really?
it, motherfucker.
No
Yes.
way,
Yes.
man.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean,
fuck's sake.
I hope not, but you
I mean,
never
I
know,
might.
man.
I might.
Come
You
on.
never know.
I'm waiting for all the gay jokes and the blowjob joke.
Well, that'll happen. That'll happen. But not until Cody's actually blowing me. No.
Cody doesn't blow nobody. Let's get
Oh,
the facts.
oh,
Let's talk
let-
about
let-
the facts.
We're talking about facts.
Let's go back to O'Malley's
Yes. What?
pitcher catcher.
Buddy, I'm a pitcher.
So you came to Gainesville '92 after riding around on your bike in Hurricane Andrew,
Yeah.
which I was in Fort Myers when Hurricane Andrew came through, Lee County, other coast, and it would, Andrew was supposed to come up around the bottom of the state and then blast Fort Myers, and everybody was just, coming unglued
Yeah.
about it.
Usually when you come around the bottom, it.
Yeah, and then it just went the other way and destroyed Homestead and Miami,
Florida City.
all
Florida,
that.
Florida City.
It's crazy. And now, Jesus Christ, people over there in the Bahamas are dealing with that.
Golly.
Probably like 10 times worse, I'd imagine. Because
I bet those numbers get 5,000 plus.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's at like 30.
Yeah, they're.
But they're
You
saying
hear
that,
the news talking about they can smell the bodies.
yeah, they're saying
Oh,
that there's a lot of people that are
They
just
they can see them
in
bloating.
the water and shit. and-
Wow, dude.
So I did look a little bit of stuff
Yeah,
up about
me-
Dorian and
Me and Nick were watching a video just the other day of this guy's house, man, in the Bahamas.
15-foot stilt house.
Yeah. And it's up to his floor of his second story. So
Yeah.
it's up 12 feet.
I mean, the guy turned around and he was like, the ocean is among us.
Yeah.
He said he felt like he was on a houseboat, and I'll be honest, that scared the fuck out of me.
Like everywhere you looked was water.
Yeah. I mean, I have a fear of drowning, so if I was in that situation, I'd be losing my fucking mind. There's no doubt about it. But I know I did look up a little bit of info because I knew hurricane, obviously it's going on right now, and so I did look up a little bit about it. But there's a lot of different relief funds out there. So if you do decide to donate to relief funds, definitely just go through, do your homework. Salvation Army's out there. Doing their thing, and the Red Cross, they're doing theirs. But there's a lot of people that are out there scamming motherfuckers too. Taking advantage of shitty situations like this, which I think we should just, I don't know,
String them up.
shoot
in
'em.
those-
Hey.
shoot them, string them up. Either way.
I mean, not everybody's out there just
No.
hating on everyone.
No.
though.
There's plenty of people out there doing good work, like the dude. Did you hear about this guy? He bought 100 generators. I looked it up. $450 each for a total of $50,000. Guy walks into a Lowe's or Costco. Walked into a Costco and was like, "Give me 100 of them." Fucking A.
What did he do with them?
So
Well, they're being sent to
here's
the
thing.
Bahamas.
This is how fucked up that kind of situation is. The response that you see on social media from that is, oh my God, well, that's great, but is he going to send a fucking tanker of gas with it? It's like, are you fucking for real?
Yeah. What the fuck is that's social media for you though? That is just typical social media. Every day I bite my fucking tongue with the things that I don't say. And I think that I speak my mind for the most part, but when I see stuff like that, I start typing away, and then I just, let me
Delete
just
back.
delete
Delete
it.
back.
I don't want to fucking.
Every
I don't want to
day,
get
every
into
day.
it. I don't want to get into it. So a lot of times I just say fuck it, but definitely, if you can donate, go to the Red Cross, go to Salvation Army, throw some money out to those folks.
I do think there's a little bit in more intelligent ways to make that donation work better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He could have contacted like a Red Cross or somebody and been like, "Hey, I have these generators, and whenever you guys are out there ready to get the work done, here's 50 generators."
Well, I imagine that's.
I hope. I mean, I don't know.
What he'll do. I mean,
I don't know.
he obviously spent $50,000 on it. I mean, the guy's got means.
You got to transport that.
He's got some kind of means to get that shit somewhere.
He's like,
And-
"I'm writing that shit off at the end of the year."
Oh yeah. Well, in truth be told, though, a lot of people will be jumping at the chance to take those over for him. There's gonna
I'm
be
sure.
there's gonna be a lot of people that are going, "Hey, we got to get these generators over there." So,
I mean, just from what we've seen though, Nick, like that guy's house was completely like just
surrounded
by
Completely
water.
surrounded.
Like and that guy's house was 2 stories tall. If you didn't have a 2-story house, you were
you're
underwater.
fucked. You're
like
fucked.
up to your roof underwater if you didn't have a 2-story house.
It's crazy.
So I could kind of imagine the devastation of that area. Just imagine the whole state of Florida, which we live in Florida, obviously, Porchville, Gainesville, Florida. Imagine if the whole
Gators.
state,
Go
Gators,
Gators.
go Gators. If the whole state was underwater, man, like you're gonna use those. You're not gonna need the gas right away. You're gonna need it afterwards, whenever you need power to fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like at first, man, just get through the storm. And then afterwards, you're going to need those generators.
According to AOC, don't we have 10 years?
Fuck you, man.
We're
Dude,
fucked.
I'm talking over you because you just beat me to that shit. Oh, my God.
AOC.
What's that? What are you talking about? What am I missing?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
You need to go back to school,
Jesus,
man.
this lady. God.
But-
oh, my God, her.
But we are.
She needs to go back to fucking school. That lady is crazy as hell.
But we
School's
don't.
what fucked her up.
But we don't want to get too far into politics because my God, that could just lead us down the fucking rabbit hole. So, I'm gonna bring us back. What are we talking about? Oh, 1992. You come to Gainesville. What's the music scene like in 1992? Because I mean, we're talking prime time,
I had
man.
Literally the day before.
And why Gainesville?
Well, it's a college town. No. So one of the best days of my life was the day before Hurricane Andrew. Miami, Lollapalooza, Ice Cube, Ministry, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Jim Rose Sideshow Circus.
Nice.
What a blast. I wasn't into photography. I was a total fan. I was a teenager. I was loving life.
So that brings you to Gainesville? Or was that here in Gainesville?
That was in Miami.
That's in Miami.
Literally the day before Hurricane Andrew hit
Okay.
in Miami.
Oh, all right. I got you.
You got to see Ice Cube.
So
That's
we
fucking
weren't
cool.
quite snowflakes back then, because snowflakes now would be like, oh, cancel that shit now, cancel it, no,
That's very.
it's 3 days out, shit, cancel it.
Well, the Knot Fest down in Tampa, the Slipknot show, everybody was trying to sell tickets and worried about it being canceled. It was like the hurricane's still, they're still projecting it to not go anywhere fucking near Tampa. So, and it didn't, and Knot Fest went off without a hitch.
Thank God.
So, yeah, gotta love that.
Still haven't seen Slipknot live.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I saw him at the first Rockville I went to, and my wife Katie, she's not a huge fan of really heavy stuff, and
That would be 2015.
yeah, probably.
So actually, I did see them. I was just way back and like really drunk, so I
Nice.
don't really remember it so well.
It was that was a great.
So
time.
I don't claim that I saw them.
Well, it was a hell of a show, and my wife even turned around and was just like in awe of the show that they put on. She's like, you know what? I'm not really into the music, but the show, like, wow.
I mean, it might not even be those guys. You could just slap a mask on and have an amazing musician up there.
Probably could. Well, they're all very, very, very accomplished. But so when you came to Gainesville, when I think 1992, well, for one, I think like 6th grade, but it was a huge time for music. I mean, all the greats that we know of, well, that I know of. I mean,
Less Than
Jake was here in town, but I'm also talking about just the movement overall. I mean, there was a big, the grunge movement was going on. The Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, fucking titans.
It was a new genre of music.
Yeah, it was all new. So, what was it like being around a town like Gainesville that was really notorious for its music scene at one point? I mean, when I got here in 2000, I mean, everybody was just like, scene's so great. We were still kind of it was starting to peter out, but there was still enough going on. There was some great bands you could go out to the bars and see. But 8 years prior, like in the thick of all that sort of shit, like what was that like?
I pretty much stayed to myself.
Yeah.
I didn't really get into the music scene all that much, other than what I bought on CDs.
Yeah. What kind of stuff were you listening to in general?
Oh, I listened to Pearl Jam. I remember their album 10.
Oh, fantastic album.
I mean, just like nut over yourself.
I honestly, I still, to this day, I mean, I still listen to everything they fucking put out. They put out the Lightning Bolt, loved it. Fucking listened to it front to back numerous times. It's fucking great record. But so those guys still got it. Everybody else is fucking dead though these days, so that kind of sucks. But when you got to Gainesville, were you already doing photography at that point, or was it just sort of a loose interest? I mean,
it was a loose interest.
Yeah.
It was something that I had been doing since I was a kid.
Yeah.
But wasn't really focused in on anything, so I was more concerned with doing a career, what I wanted to do with my life.
Right.
And not too long after I got here, found my wife, and so we started a family.
That's awesome though. When you when was it that you started though? Like when you turned around and you were like all right, I'm gonna do this. Like I'm really into going out and capturing these fucking moments. Like when was that? When did that happen for you?
So I decided one night to go out to a local show at the High Dive. And
Was it already the High Dive then, or
it was the High Dive? It wasn't the covered dish or whatever it was.
So this, I mean, it's not recent, but I mean, it's fairly recent that it since been called the High. What?
Well, that I don't remember. Did you not read her the rules? What the fuck?
Katie, no smacking stuff on the
Serious?
table.
Katie gets to do whatever the fuck
Like
she wants.
That's true.
Like the hand signals here.
She's like, I'm the porch mama. You know this, right?
and we gonna hit the. Oh, Jesus Christ!
She's trying to turn me on.
She does have the
can
sexiest
talk.
voice on radio.
You can talk.
Her radio voice is incredible.
Oh.
Katie goes in
I
and
wanna
out
hear
of
it
the podcast, so you can talk though. Just put your
Did
damn
you
headphones
just say
on.
in and out after someone said sexy?
In and out and in.
So you went to the High
Speak,
Dive.
Katie. Speak.
Carry on. Don't let me interrupt you.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
you went to the High Dive.
Yeah, and I caught the bug there.
Yeah.
And
Did you
so-
have some camera equipment at that point,
No.
or
No, just basic, just
the old like point
nothing-
and shoot kind
yeah,
of thing,
nothing worth anything.
Right.
So then I started branching out from there and going to other shows,
Yeah.
Jacksonville, Orlando, whatnot. And I was kind of a noob, and I was like, what are all those people doing up there? Why are they so close? Oh, those are photographers. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I can do that shit. What the fuck? And so I did some research, made some connections, and here I am almost 4 years later.
Got a website? How was it hard to get your website up and going, or did you have any problem with
Been
that?
a motherfucker for us.
No, it was no problem.
No? It's really not as hard as people would think it was.
You
But-
lying motherfucker.
I mean,
It was a bitch.
it kind of can be a bitch.
It was a bitch.
I mean,
Trust me.
learning from the very scratch. Of
was
course,
a
anything's
bitch.
a bitch whenever you have to learn it from nothing. You know.
Well, so I know you may not have gotten out a lot back when you got here, but I mean I'm sure that over the years that you've been here, you've seen the music scene change and evolve to sort of what it is now. What would you say? What it was versus what it is now? Like, what would be an accurate description of that?
Oh, wow. Social media and I think people are disinterested. They're lazy.
Yeah.
They have Spotify,
Yeah.
and they motherfuckers don't even know how to burn a fucking CD anymore.
Most people don't know what a CD is.
Yeah, and I don't understand that.
Wow.
I'll
So
tell you
I'm
something
like,
funny. Years ago, I bought my laptop, and I think I bought it through Dell, and I remember asking them, "Does that come with a CD-ROM drive?" And they were, "Oh, what? You want one of what? Oh, you want one of those?" I felt like I was 80 fucking years old just because I'm asking about a CD-ROM drive. Of course, I
well,
would say
you
like
probably are.
13 years ago, I was still asking if it had a fucking, what was it, the floppy disk?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that would be 3.25.
I've
the
never seen a
3.25.
laptop with one of
3.5.
those.
3.5.
I've never seen a laptop with a floppy drive.
Our first computer had one of them because I ordered it. I had to pay extra for it because that's all I fucking knew at the time. So it had one of those, and it had one of those fancy new fandangled CD-ROM drives.
You obviously do not remember the real floppy drive because see the 3.5s were kind of hard. I mean, they weren't like they weren't flaccid.
Yeah.
In comparison to a 5.2
Now
or 5 and a quarter.
Now those
it was a bigger, and that shit was floppy.
the old Oregon Trail. It was like the disc was like that.
Oregon Trail.
The Oregon Trail. I used to play that shit in science class, man. Everybody died of fucking dysentery, or I lost Jimmy in the fucking creek. Like, it's a fucking creek, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Get it together.
Hey, my pubes aren't gray either, but that's, I mean, it's neither here nor there. You know what I mean? I don't need a fucking floppy disk in my laptop. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Hey. This was,
It's a laptop, dude.
the-
You already have the internet. What the fuck you need a floppy disk
This
for?
was the early aughts.
All I
as
need
they
is a
call
USB
'em.
drive, and I'm GTG, man. Good to go. Let's fucking
Good
rock
to
and roll.
go.
Like,
Cody's just a baby.
yeah, I'm way younger than you fucking old, bald motherfuckers.
Hey.
Oh,
It's a
You're getting
solar power.
I'll never be as old as you.
Solar
Ever.
Someday,
Ever.
Someday.
Cody.
Oh,
Not at the same time, but someday.
Solar powered sex machine.
dude.
That's right.
That would be redundant because most of the times I like getting my done or my ish done at the nighttime. You know what I mean? I don't need solar powered sex machine.
Batteries do store,
Batteries, bitch.
solar energy.
Has your girl never had a vibrator? The bitches run on batteries.
It's called me, baby. I get in there and I just start.
Yeah, let her lie to you like that.
I promise you, she probably has one.
Hello!
Oh, she speaks. Hell yeah.
Katie drops it in. With
Hey,
the
we live in the same
appropriate
house.
Time.
So, yeah, that is how it goes. I kind of know what shit is.
Is
I know what the deal is. I know what the dildo is.
Lies.
I know what the dildo is.
I can already tell you that if like they'll end up talking about it. The ladies will end up discussing it. I'm sure, but
Discussing
anyway,
what? There's nothing to discuss, Nick.
hey, I'm just saying.
Nothing to
man.
discuss.
I'm just saying. Are you texting her now? Is that what she's doing over there? Trying to find out.
This is real important, pressing matter. Tell me, do you have a vibrator?
So
God damn it. Where is it?
So a few weeks ago, I'm scrolling around on Facebook, and I see a post that's by you, Mr. Fisher,
Mr. Troy Fisher.
talking about giving it all up. Talking about walking away.
Those were not my exact words.
I think you might have said something like, "Fuck y'all, I'm out of this bitch."
That would be accurate.
So you're talking about, giving up the concert photography as well as the model stuff. Like, what's going on there? Because I honestly, I've seen both. I love your scenic shit, creative stuff, as you called it. I love the Barbie doll photo, which we'll talk about the Barbies.
Oh, my God.
Oh, please do.
Jesus.
Please do.
But you were talking about not doing it, and I, to be honest, as somebody that, I mean, I've been in some of these pictures you've taken. You've got this fantastic eye for it. Why walk away from it?
One word. Drama. That's number one. Drama's number one. The other one is, I got a family.
Yeah.
I've spent so much time away from my wife and kids in pursuit of a dream. And, I mean, when I think about it, it almost brings me to tears.
Well,
they've been very supportive, and my wife knew kind of from the onset kind of what I wanted, and it just didn't happen. And a lot of that has to do with my personality. I'm not one to get along with people.
Well, we get along fantastic, and I mean
And
we
that-
have
You seem like an
Yeah.
awesome dude. To
we
me,
have
bro.
pretty much since fucking day one.
Yeah.
I mean, you did suck on my nipple at Rockville.
Lucky
I mean-
bastard. You
Well,
sucked on
see-
Nick's nipples?
Fuck yeah, that
Oh,
shit-
you lucky
I
dog.
mean, if that's not getting along, I don't know what is.
God, man. You
Well,
lucky
some
dog.
people frown upon you sucking on their nipple.
Well, not this guy. Not this guy.
Hey, I did it in front of your wife, so I assumed.
Full disclosure.
I thought consent was assumed.
Hey,
I can
hey.
picture Nick's face right now. I can't picture it because I can't. I don't know if it was a face of shock, horror, or just pure pleasure.
I think it was just
Oh,
like,
it
hey,
was pleasure.
We're gonna
It was
let this
pleasure.
ride. We're gonna
It
see
was
where it
pleasure.
goes.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
I mean, I mean, I don't want to get a handy from Troy, but I mean, hey, handy's a
If he
handy.
can-
Well,
as long as he can
it's
suck
not
on your
going-
nipple while he's
it's not
doing
going
that.
that far. It's not going that far.
Not this time. But
Never.
That's funny, man.
so how serious is it though? I mean, are you really? Was that a moment where you're like, you know what, fuck this, I'm tired of all this bullshit, or was it just sort of something that was like, I need to blow off some fucking steam. I need to get people's attention, let them know I'm not fucking around, or, I mean, are you still going to do it? Basically, I guess is the question that I'm asking.
I think I'm going to. I think I'm gonna have a Jimmy Buffett moment.
A Jimmy Buffett moment.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
He's going to Margaritaville.
Yeah. Exactly.
I do have a margarita.
Someone
maker.
get that man some
Exactly.
monkey. Get that man some monkey.
Exactly. There's more in life than what we focus on at the moment. We can focus on music. We can focus on photography. We can focus on all these other things.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, family is more important.
That's so powerful, Troy.
100%.
My daughter's in her senior year of high school.
How old are your boys?
22 and 24. They're gone.
Yeah. Do they live
Um,
around here or?
Yeah, well, one lives here and the other lives in St. Pete.
Cool.
Yeah, he's going to school at USF. USF. Yeah.
Awesome.
Um,
Have any of them had the photography bug?
my daughter did briefly.
Yeah.
I tried to teach her some stuff. She's like, Dad, I got an iPhone. I just want to post to Instagram. I just want to do this mediocre bullshit. I'm like, oh, you're like AOC, you fucking socialist. And she's like, oh, you fucking curse me. Don't do that. Yeah. She's more conservative than I am.
Is it-
I'm a libertarian, but she's more conservative than me. It's crazy.
Is it just me though, or has technology sort of dumbed down some of the skill?
That's
I mean,
the whole fucking point.
I mean, for you, for photography, for me, music. I mean, music nowadays is not what it used to be, in my opinion.
when it comes to photography, people think that they're photographers. It hasn't dumbed down the skill. It's dumbed down
Anybody with an iPhone and a filter.
It's dumbed down people's impression.
Right.
People think that because somebody has an image, that it's photography. They don't know the rules. They don't know aesthetics. They have. So I didn't go to school. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. A lot of people don't go to school. I don't think school is necessary, but I do think that education is necessary. So when people go into photography and think that a subject placed right in the fucking center is beautiful photography, well, you suck.
Yeah, I agree. I actually, my thing, I'm a big fan of, like, you know, off to the side, or, you know, different angles. You know, you want to get a unique perspective. You don't want to give everybody what they can just walk around and see for themselves. You want to provide a unique perspective, your perspective on it. And you know, obviously you got to take lighting into account.
I think
you
that's
know,
the hardest
just
part.
the scene itself, you know. I honestly, I find that some of my favorite stuff, because, you know, I'm probably one of these guys, you know, I got my camera, you know, spent a few bucks on it, and, you know, it takes great pictures of the kids at, you know, their little preschool graduations
Hold
and
on
stuff.
a second. The camera does not take good pictures.
Oh, that's true.
The
That's true.
photographer takes good
Yes.
pictures.
Yes, I agree.
And that's why they make big bucks, people.
That's why they should make big bucks.
God damn
Yeah, I
it.
was about to knock you over the head for a second.
See?
there.
So, you know, but do you think that that's something that's just more instinctual, that how you view stuff, how you think it should be presented, or do you think that's sort of a learned skill?
It's both.
Yeah.
It's both. So my daughter showed me some Instagram feeds that professional photographers were showing, or tour photographers, where they had, when they had just started photography, and now, and she wasn't like telling me which one was which, and I was like, okay, that's cool, that's all right. Oh, that fucking sucks. Oh, yeah, no, that's bad. No. Oh, yeah, that's all right. Okay, that's dope. And it was hit or miss.
But do you think that you can? Is it? Well, I guess the way that I want to.
Not
phrase
anybody can be a photographer.
But is it the equipment that makes that photographer, or is it more the perspective, the eye for that image?
It's a mix.
Yeah.
I would say I would lean more towards the photographer.
Yeah.
I mean, if you gave if we went back, you know, if we went back to the 80s and everybody had an Instamatic camera, and we judged everybody on that, that would be one thing. We had no editing software. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Then you would see people. You could judge people on composition. That's literally the first thing that I look at when I see a photo is composition.
Yeah.
Then I look at lighting, and then I look at, you know, well, actually at the same time I look, did they catch emotion? Did they catch some kind of action?
Yeah. I'm more of a natural light. Like I don't ever use flash for anything. I like to just go out and,
I like color lighting.
you know.
Yeah, and so the people that use flash will dig on the people that use natural lighting and say, oh, well, you say natural is great because you don't know how to use flash. And
I would agree with that in some sense. I don't know how to use it, therefore I've never. I mean, I've seen your setup. You've got
six months and you're good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have an eye, you can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, lighting is not all that difficult.
One of these days, I'll show you a couple of the pictures I've taken that I think are actually like
I don't
worth
want
a
to
shit.
see any of your
you know?
like post porn shit.
As soon as he got out of the biz.
That's for later.
Totally joking, guys.
You and these Ron Jeremy shirts.
Well, there's a reason.
Big
for
rig
it.
Nick over
There's
here.
a reason for it, you know. So, you know, we were talking about some of the bands that you've shot, and one of them that jumped out at me, and one of the reasons I included it was 311. So you got to see 311. When was that? Do you remember that one?
I've shot them several times.
Several. Did you by chance shoot them? I know they were here at the O-Dome.
Have not shot them at the O-Dome.
It was Jesus. It was close to 20 years. It's been.
I can imagine the haze.
It was, you know, it was surprisingly no haze, but I mean there were fucking cops everywhere.
Actually, you know, I heard that. I heard it's so strict in there. Like you can't do. No way.
Oh, yeah.
No way. How can it be a 311 concert and no one can?
it was
fire
it was
up anything?
badass. And actually, my friend got backstage, and so I went home after the show, and my phone rings, and it's my buddy. So I answer the phone, and he says, "Hey, is this Nick?" I'm like, why is somebody calling from my friend's phone? That's not him. What the
Yeah,
fuck is
that
this?
fucker's passed out.
And he's like, "Hey, this is Nick Hexum from 311." I'm like,
What?
"Holy shit! What's
Sweet.
up, man?" I mean, what do you say? I'm like, "Oh, it's a
Did you not ask for ID?
I was just like, "It was a great show, man. Great show. I loved it." And he's like, "Thanks, man. Appreciate it." All right, bye. I was like, that was my chance to talk to Nick fucking Hexum from 311.
Wait, that's what you said?
That's all I said, man.
Shut up.
That's all I said.
Shut
Dude,
up.
I was young and green and
What was
Dork.
he calling you for?
just because my buddy had said, "Hey, I want you to talk to," and then S.A. Martinez, the other front man, he actually called my other buddy, and you know, it was just a cool little thing that my boy set up for us. So, you know, but
We need that phone call
that
one more
was-
time.
That was awesome. It was so. One question that I got for you it's a big one. It's gonna take some thinking.
Pregnant pause.
Who do you want to shoot that you haven't had the opportunity to? If you all time, like number one, who would you want to shoot
You get one more chance.
more than anybody?
One more.
That's easy.
Yeah,
Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn
Really?
fucking Manson.
Would you want to catch him like
So-
giving a dude a
so-
blowjob?
No, and that's not real. But anyhow, so I have an actual story. I actually,
heard differently.
I've shot Marilyn Manson.
I did hear that the blowjob thing happened.
Technically, I shot Marilyn Manson.
I did see the pictures.
Yeah,
But they were some older pictures though too.
Yes,
so it was
they
before.
were in somatics.
Yeah.
They were disposable little cameras, and I gone with a friend of mine and his girlfriend. She had really big tits, and
I like
plus.
I like where the story's
That's a
at.
plus.
I like it.
so I had the Instamatic camera, and I was thinking about putting it because they were like big on searching back then.
Yeah.
This was the late '90s, early 2000s. They were big on searching, so I was thinking about putting this thing like under my ball sack, and I was like, "That's gonna be really uncomfortable." This bitch has got like fucking triple D's.
I'm just thinking
So-
that's how you get pink eye. You gotta put that thing up to your face.
I just love that Katie was about to put her headphones on, and
But
as
it's
soon
my,
as Troy
but
said,
it's my own taint. What the fuck?
as soon as Troy said under my ball sack, she was like, "Do I really want to put my headphones on? I'm not sure anymore. I might just go."
You don't
back
know where
inside."
those headphones have been.
So Marilyn Manson. That
So yeah, so
The tits.
yeah, so chick put the disposable camera underneath her tits, went through security. This was House of Blues. I want to say 1999.
is that Orlando?
Yeah, actually, it was 1999. It was Union Underground opened, and then Godsmack,
What?
and then Marilyn Manson.
What?
That's pretty badass.
Yeah. And so I wasn't really paying too much attention to Godsmack. I was really digging the South Texas Death Ride from Union Underground. Brian Scott, he's got another project, but they're like, yeah. But anyhow, so I'm in the pit, and this fucking little Instamatic camera has flash on it, and it's automatic. It's not something you can turn off.
Right.
And I'm just like Joe Blow. I'm in the audience.
Yeah.
And I'm going up there as close as I can. I'm like 3 people deep. And I put the camera up as close as I can. I'm getting a shot. You know, they got the LEDs that say drugs on it.
Yeah.
And this African-American big guy sees me. We make eye contact. He kind of gives me the stink eye. It's like, shit.
It's a big dude.
I'm like, fuck this shit. I go up and Manson comes down again. Frame up for another shot. I take the shot. Dude comes over. I can it's like in slow motion. I wasn't even drinking then. I didn't drink till I was 35. But anyhow, so I like in slow motion. I see this hand coming out for me and more so my camera, and I literally just dropped like to the ground. Not dropped to your knees. I literally just dropped to the ground and scurried to the back.
Did you keep your camera?
Fuck yeah!
Oh
what
yeah.
the fuck's wrong with you?
Okay, I was making sure.
What's wrong with
making
you?
sure you didn't have the big old giant hand
have
grab
you
you,
not-
knock
you-
you over in one swift motion.
We saw the pictures.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyhow, so I go back there. I collect myself. I'm like, ooh, okay. You gotta get more pictures. You gotta get more pictures, cause this is the shit. This is like
This is the shit you love.
Yeah. Well, I saw Marilyn Manson in Davie, Florida, when he was literally fucking nobody.
That was back when he was doing the Spooky Kids.
Yeah. Before Hurricane Andrew,
Yeah.
I saw him in a club down there, and so so that's when I kind of like, I wouldn't say fell in love with, but like had a deep admiration for his music. And
His music is incredible.
and it's not so much his music. I really dig his lyrics.
I saw
Music
him,
for me is lyrics. It's not so
Yeah.
much the music or the beat or anything like that. It's lyrics. It's what you're saying to people
Yeah.
or what you're saying about yourself.
For me, it's always been the vocals in general.
You're a
Definitely.
vocalist.
Oh, that's because you're a vocalist.
being a vocalist, but you know, like people could never understand why I couldn't get into like punk rock and stuff like that. You're like, I admire what they do, what you know, what punk rock has done for music over the years. But man, you'd think that one punk band could find a solid vocalist that can actually fucking sing and not just like man, I just can't get into it.
Yeah, it
Never
wasn't
have.
something for me either.
Same with like, you know, like death metal where they're just doing the. I can't fucking get into it. I just can't do it.
I'm gonna go see Amy Grant next week.
Who?
Amy Grant.
Amy Grant, as in Amy Grant.
Yeah.
Is she playing with like Yanni or something?
I
Is she- I don't know.
Yanni.
I think it's a
Isn't
just
that
a
isn't
headlining
that-
show.
Isn't that like her style? Like it's kind of like a laid back. Like,
No, she's like a Christian pop.
Can I get back to death metal? So I think you want to talk about death metal musicians. Those guys are vocally talented, bro. First of all, if that's your show and you have to do that, you have to oscillate your voice and in those kinds of directions all the time, which is just so hard on your throat. You know, like they get really throaty.
Oh, it's incredibly difficult to do, and that's the thing. Like, I don't take anything away from them. I think what they do is top notch.
Right? Yeah, it's at a high
But-
level for
but
sure.
I can't do it. Yeah, I can't even listen to it.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
not necessarily pleasing to
Yeah.
the ear to everyone.
I mean, of course,
you know what I mean?
You know, I'm listening to stuff like the
Name a famous
Allman
one.
Brothers and shit like that. You know, and just vibing. You know, stuff that I can hear, man, that I can connect with. You know, it's just different, and that's just what the kind of shit that moves me.
See, I grew up kind of in the hardcore era, like Throwdown and Hatebreed and like these kinds of cats were pretty big whenever I was.
How about Agnostic Front or even better, Sick of It All?
What about them? They rock. I don't know these guys, man. See, I'm not the biggest musician, man. Like I'm not a musician. My man Nick over here has been the lead singer of a band for fucking years.
You need some sick of all in you.
Okay. I mean, dude, I like hard stuff, dude. I like stuff that is good for a crowd, you know? Like so whenever I was in high school and stuff, we were big into the hardcore scene. I had a bunch of friends who were really big in the music scene, and it really wasn't so much my thing. I didn't dig it as much, but what I enjoyed was going to the shows. I enjoyed the shows, and whenever we'd go to shows, we would rock, man. Like we would rock. We'd have so much fun. We were the intelligent crowd, right? So we got so infamous around our little area that the smaller bands who wanted to have a good time on stage as well and wanted their crowd to be somewhat knowledgeable, they'd pay us a little bit of money to come to their show. And we would run the crowd. So we ran the pits, and anytime there was a breakdown, we did whatever the band wanted us to do beforehand. We had segments where we would make man mountains and climb up, grab the mic, and fucking spit on the mic with whatever the vocalist was talking about. It was just a great time. That was my experience. I liked more of the getting in it and having fucking fun.
Oh,
part.
I've had Cody in a crowd, and this motherfucker will hype some people up. It's pretty awesome.
It's a good damn time, man. That's my favorite part about music, man. And I think if it doesn't speak to an audience, then like you got to have a good time. Yeah.
So you got any interesting stories about, you know, being backstage or some shit, you know? I'm gonna have to edit.
Yeah.
Say it.
Yeah, pee break.
Oh, yeah, go
You're
ahead.
good, man. You're good. Go ahead. Do your thing.
Yeah, take a piss.
You ain't got to edit nothing.
Yeah, fuck it.
Jesus Christ.
You gotta pee? Go pee. There's a door right there on the side. Yeah. Have at it.
Hey, so this is a good time to introduce the Porch Mama Katie.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't let him fall off the steps.
Yeah, he's good.
Don't
baby.
fall off the
He's-
steps, Troy.
That last step's a doozy, Troy.
This is the beauty of Porch.
I love it, bro.
Katie, how you doing over there, baby? Feeling good? Doing good?
Yeah, it's working out.
Nick, I want to know, man, who's your favorite show to go see? Like, do you you got a favorite band you like just going to watch? Like they entertain you on like all levels. You know what I mean?
I have seen some really cool bands. I've seen a lot of bands. I've actually seen Marilyn Manson. We were talking about it a couple times.
I think that'd be incredible. He's an amazing
Oh.
genius of a musician.
Absolutely. One of the shows that I saw, the first time I saw him, was '98 in the Rose Bowl down in Miami.
Damn.
And excuse me. And the opening band was Third Eye Blind, which led into Dave Matthews Band,
Yeah.
which led into Smashing Pumpkins.
I'm not a Pumpkins
I'm
fan.
not a fan.
Ugh.
I'm not a fan of Smashing Pumpkins, but you know, it was '98. They were, you know, still in their prime and all that stuff. So it was cool to see them. You know, it's one of those bands that, you know, I would never say no. I don't want to see that, just, you know, because they're a respectable band. You know, I mean, they've done great things.
Well, they were popular. Obviously, a lot of people liked
a lot
them.
of people like them, you know, so it's like I'll go see it. You know, I'm not gonna not go see it because it is just something cool to go see. And
Marilyn Manson.
but Marilyn Manson ended up coming out on stage with Smashing Pumpkins, which was pretty awesome. And then the next band was the Stones.
You see? Oh, the Stones.
Saw the Stones.
Shut the fuck up.
That was pretty awesome.
Wait.
Bridges
the
to Babylon.
Stones and Manson played in the same venue.
Believe it or not.
What the
yes.
hell is going on? Did the Stones not know who Marilyn Manson was?
Well, Manson wasn't on the bill. Nobody knew Manson was showing up.
Wait. So how did that happen?
They came out. It was Marilyn Manson. It wasn't. When I say Marilyn Manson, it wasn't the band. It was
It was just the man.
just Manson.
Okay, yeah.
And at the time, Twiggy was a guitar player, and Twiggy came out and they played a few songs with Pumpkins, and then went on their merry way. And then the Stones came out.
That guy's intelligence is just absolutely like
Oh, yeah.
top notch, bro. His like Troy was talking about earlier, man. He's super intelligent, and his vocals and like his lyrics, like he really does. He really does. Like it's almost poetry in a sense. That's like I don't know. It's just at a high level. It's at the highest level.
But,
that's why you gotta admire the guy for being a musician.
If there was a band that I wish I could see, I won't go see them now. But if there was a band that I wish I could have seen back in the day, it was it would have been Guns N' Roses.
Fuck yeah, man.
But I don't want to see him now because man, I just
Yeah, he's fat fucker. Fuck that shit.
Is he fat now?
I think he.
Shut the fuck up. Have you
Good
not
for
watched
him.
news?
I think
Good for him.
I think he lost a lot
Good
of it.
for him.
He's slimmed back down, but yeah, he got. Didn't you see all the? Take me down to the Paradise City. We got tons of cake or something.
So they just put out the. They just did a like a reboot of one of their old CDs.
Yeah.
Appetite of Destruction. But then they didn't put out
Appetite for Destruction. If I don't change,
Yeah,
if I don't
yeah.
correct you on that, Joe,
that's fine.
Joe will kill me.
That's fine. But they neglected or on purpose did not put out One in a Million.
Really?
Why was the on purpose for?
Because it says certain words.
Oh, yeah. Well, but
Censorship sucks, by the way.
censorship does suck.
Like that's the biggest joke ever, man.
But as far as like just favorite band overall to see, be Foo Fighters hands down. When I saw them at Rockville, I mean they just melted my face. I loved it. It was moving.
I enjoyed shooting them.
It was a moving fucking experience.
I'd want to see like AC/DC, I think, like before the dude died, the lead singer died.
Lead singer didn't die.
Who's the? I thought the lead singer died.
No, the
Somebody died. Who? The guitarist.
Yeah,
Yeah, before the guitarist died. I'm sorry, I'm thinking the wrong band. But I'd like to see AC/DC, man.
yeah. That was the brother. What the fuck is his name? Something Young. That's all.
I don't know.
Is-
all I can
is
think
Angus-
is all I can remember from my childhood is like the Def Leppard and the guy with the drunk accident in one arm.
Drummer from
He's
Def Leppard's
drummer.
only got one.
One-armed drummer.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny, guys.
He rocks
fucking
it.
rock.
He
I'll tell you
rocks
that though.
It's kind of funny.
Malcolm
What a beast.
Young. Malcolm
What a
Young
beast.
was he's a founding member. His brother is Angus, who does the schoolboy uniform. No, the Brian Johnson.
That's some dude war right there.
Brian Johnson left. I think he was actually like fired. Brian Johnson's the guy that you know as the singer.
Right.
And he ended up having some ear issues and left. I think they're back together now though. But they're,
They rock is all
they're
I know,
fucking-
bro.
It's fucking AC/DC.
Like their music is designed to like rock a whole stadium of people.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff I dig that, dude.
Yep.
I dig that. That's good fucking music.
But when I saw Foo Fighters, what was really cool was that, I grew up 90s, and, that's where I really got my musical interest from. So seeing Dave Grohl, who was part of Nirvana, which was just amazing, and then it's Dave Grohl, who's the fucking lead singer of Foo Fighters.
Did you see him when he got on
amazing.
drums at Rockville?
You goddamn right
Oh
I
my
did.
God!
You goddamn right I did. I mean, everybody was there. John Travolta's there. Billy Idol's there. Everybody's fucking hanging out. It was a great time. It really was.
They seriously put on a show.
It
It was
not,
amazing.
Did I not like wipe a few tears from my eyes?
I'm pretty sure.
I was
I may
so.
have a picture of that.
Well, you seen the deity, John Travolta.
John Travolta.
Have you seen him lately? He looks like shit.
He looks
John
like-
Travolta does?
He looks like
Yeah,
He
shit.
shaved his
really
head and he
shit.
grew a beard.
He
That was
shaved
my
his
signature
head?
look for like 10 years.
Did you guys see? I'm
Sign-
sure you didn't, but did at like the MTV Music Awards, he was out there, and then he like went to
Yeah.
go give the award to the drag queen
Yeah.
of Taylor.
He gave it to a drag queen thinking it was Taylor
Saying it was
Swift.
Taylor.
my
Yeah,
God.
Scientology is not serving him well.
Dude,
Oh man, you
he's
want to
allowed
talk?
to murder
You
somebody
want to talk
and get away with it.
You guys want to talk Scientology? This is your fucking guru right over here, man. This girl watched every episode.
Oh,
Of
that
that,
chick!
Leah-
That chick is
Leah
my.
Remini?
Oh my God!
Love her.
King of Queens.
I
love
will.
her. I love her.
Yeah.
Yes, she's the
King
best.
of Queens chick.
She's the best.
She watched every single episode.
Boing.
Isn't
Yes,
she
yes,
awesome?
that's my dick.
She's like got that spice to her, but yet
Oh,
I mean
yeah.
like
She's great.
compassionate.
She's fucking great, and I give her
She's a great actress,
I
man.
give her
She was awesome on her
massive,
show.
Massive like props for what she's doing, coming out, speaking out against all that shit. So,
Dude, she was saying that freaking John Travolta, his position gives him the ability that if someone like questions him or something about Scientology, he can kill them. And if you're a Scientologist and you're around him, you have to just clean it up and not tell anyone.
So I don't know about that.
That was what the girl from King of Queens was saying on freaking on air. She said all this. It's crazy shit I've ever heard. I'm like, oh my god.
We're gonna fact check that.
I will have
We're
to
gonna
look.
fact-
Because
We'll have to
he's
look.
called a something con. He's called like a something con.
You can't fact it.
No, there's
You can't
definitely
fact check
they
that.
they put
You
like,
can't fact check that.
actors.
That shit's secret. What the fuck are you talking about?
You can at
No.
least fact check if
Shut
she
the
said
fuck
it.
What's her name, Katie? What's her
Yeah.
name?
Leah
Lee
Remini.
Remini.
Leah
Leah-
Remini?
Is it
Remini.
Leah or Lee?
Leah.
Leah
Oh, trust me.
Remini.
I got plenty of
Remini.
childhood.
Okay, so how do we say her
childhood
name, guys?
Leah Remini.
Leah Remini. Okay.
Remini. I thought
No,
it was Remini.
no, Remini.
Yeah.
You know what? Motherfuckers. I'll fact check that shit.
But
right
dude, I'm telling you right now, when she said that, I'm like, I don't doubt that for a
I
second.
just told you
either.
it's Leah Remini.
now. I'm gonna. What the fuck did I just? Lee Rez. I don't even know.
L-E-A.
I just-
Get
I
off
just
of
typed it in.
Pornhub, Nick. Get
Yeah.
off of Pornhub, Nick.
Yeah, and you porn too. That too.
No. Why are you video chatting with? Who is that, Nick?
What's that girl's name from Russia? Was she the chick that pissed on the
So that just got
Trump's?
flagged. That just got flagged.
Oh shit, we're getting banned.
Katie's flagged us. She's the censorship police.
Oh my goodness.
Goddamn socialists.
You have no idea.
She's not a socialist. That's
But
not what
not
she
even
was
No,
saying.
that's what she just said. She just said she was socialist.
That's almost what it sounded like. All right. This is not helping me at all. Anyway,
You need to work on your Wi-Fi because
Yeah.
if you
It's
can't
a Wi-Fi.
figure out,
It's
how,
pronounced Wiffy. All right, get it right.
okay, Jif and Jiffy. Okay, fine, I got you.
Wiffy.
All right, wait. Hang on. I found something here. I want to see if this will work. You ready?
Pregnant pause.
Oh my God, I'm getting hypnotized.
Leia Remini.
No.
Is this really a thing just to say her
Leia
name?
Remini.
What the fuck?
What
is
is
this
that?
is
It
this
is.
some
It's
like
Leia.
fucking Roma gypsy shit?
I don't know what the
You
fuck.
That is
that
you
tripping
know
me out.
you know that she's got gypsy in
was.
her.
That was fucking weird.
You know she's got gypsy in her.
Do you want to hear? Okay, speaking of that kind of stuff, that's a little weird. My grandma used to say all the time, like, she's like, you know, you come from warlock, so you're a warlock. I'm like, what? What does that mean? Why would my grandmother tell me I'm a warlock, dude? That is the weirdest thing I ever
Well,
got
I mean,
told.
if
as
you
a kid.
are, it's kind of good information to have.
But I don't know that. How am I a
Well,
warlock?
I don't know. Go over there
What
and
does
get
that
a
mean?
Go break a
That means
fucking
you're
branch.
A means you're a male witch.
Go
I know.
Go break a branch off the tree. See
And
if it works.
find some water.
See if it works as a magic
Find some
wand.
water. Yeah.
Is that like Harry Potter?
I
Yeah,
guess.
some
yeah,
Harry Potter
yeah,
shit. I
just
don't
some Harry
know.
Potter shit.
Nah, I'm good. You know what? Fuck that warlock stuff. I'm out.
I-
Not about it.
I could see you though in a long, you know.
Do I
like
have to have a robe?
Yeah, of course.
Really? I can't wear my
course.
Florida gear? I got toe shoes on, dude.
No robe, just a toga.
Toga.
I'd be good with that. I'd be good with that.
What about a
No
eunuch?
No,
Or a
fuck
tunic.
no, what the fuck's wrong with you?
A tunic, or was it?
I was gonna say, isn't it
tunic?
Isn't a eunuch
don't
where
know
they
what it
cut your balls off?
This stupid fucker.
A tunic.
I don't think you want to be a eunuch.
I'm a one-ball warlock.
That dude on Game of Thrones was a eunuch.
What? I don't even know.
The
what
bald
that is.
guy, Varys. They got that burned to death by the dragon.
I was
Spoiler
thinking
alert.
tunic, right?
Spoiler alert! Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
The monkey rums treat me pretty good. I'm stepping
God,
all over
I
my
need
fucking
I
tongue.
need another.
Hey, do you
glass
guys
of that.
want to talk about photography?
Let's talk about some photography. What's your
You want to talk about
Jesus
photography?
Christ.
You think you're gonna come to the
No,
porch
not
and
really.
talk about photography? Just
No,
whatever the hell you want.
I just want to drink all your beer.
You know what?
What I want to know is, I want the good backstage story. Do you have what did you see backstage?
Did you ever get any raunchiness back there?
What's like?
You got the
So,
groupies back
did
there.
you Tommy Lee doing blow off somebody's ass?
Yeah.
or anything
No,
like that?
but I
Did he pay you $1,000 not to publish it?
So my very first show that I shot, that I got paid for,
which was
No Comply at the High Dive. They were opening for a band out of L.A. Shit, I can't remember the name. Damn,
I'm getting a glass of monkey.
I like them too. Damn, I wish we could pause this.
Oh man, we just roll live. We just roll it live and wide open.
But anyhow, so I remember the guy, the bass player. His name was Mike, and he was showing me pictures of Uncle Al from Ministry backstage on a couch with naked chicks. And this was in the audience. This was in between sets. And I was like, wow, this is what I'm getting myself into? Okay, I'm cool with that.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, but nothing, no.
I mean, because I'm a big Ministry fan.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what Ministry is, well,
I know
you
a little
need
bit.
to know.
I know a little bit about it. You know what? I was going to ask you because, I'm sitting here smoking my cigarette.
I don't agree with his politics, but the music is fucking sick.
You're sitting over there with your vape. Have you seen all this shit going around about vape?
That's some bullshit.
You think it's some bullshit?
It's not the vape. They need to stop with the vape. It's not the device. It's not the car. It's the driver. It's what they're putting in the vape.
Right.
That's the issue. I make my shit at home, so.
Oh, wow.
What's the problem? Is it the glycol?
Some of it.
I don't even do that.
Some of it has to do with you're heating up and the moisture, and then getting heated moisture into your lungs. So it does.
I mean, I take a hot shower. Does that count? Like the same thing?
Yes.
Well, no, because you're also sucking in chemicals.
Can you say sucking in again?
No, it's a one-time thing. You want to hear it, repeat it.
Please subscribe if you would like to hear more.
PorchvillePod.com. No, but no, in all seriousness, I mean, there's a lot of people out there now that are like fucking getting all these lung diseases and shit from it. You gonna keep on riding with it?
Fuck yeah.
Did you smoke
I think
at
it's
all?
way
or-
safer.
You're smoking a fucking cigarette right now.
I know.
You too.
But I'm asking you.
I don't criticize you for doing what you
do
want
what
to
you do. I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck. But did you smoke cigarettes before?
No.
No.
I mean, I think it's way safer than smoking
Well,
cigarettes, right?
I did like late 80s, early 90s. I did like clove cigarettes.
Yeah.
And it was just a social thing.
Right.
I remember when the cloves were big.
Oh my god.
And then they fucking outlawed that shit. What the fuck?
The people that
fucking
never
hate
smoked
cloves.
would show up to a party with cloves.
Yeah.
You hate cloves?
I hate cloves. I hate the
Why?
smell of them.
Why?
I don't. It just never did it for me. I could never
What do
get
you mean
into
never
it.
did it for you? It was like something you watched.
Well, not like porn. No, it just never. I could never do it. I never
You're
liked
the
it. I
porn.
never liked the smell of it. I'd be like, fucking cloves. All right, yeah,
it has a
we'll go over
very
here.
powerful scent.
It did. Did they really outlaw
do you-
that
I
shit?
don't remember it ever
Yes.
being
I
illegal.
didn't know
Yes, no, it's illegal.
All the smokers were like, "Get
So-
these cloves out of here!"
that. Fuck.
no,
they're
no.
interfering with my tobacco
Why
smell.
make it illegal though?
So it was a gateway to children smoking cigarettes.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
not a push by the tobacco industry. I don't
You know
know
what was a
what
gate-
is.
you know
No,
You know what
that's-
was a gateway for me smoking cigarettes?
cigarettes.
Just being fucking cool.
Yeah.
That was why I started smoking cigarettes when I was 13, because it was fucking cool. It didn't taste good. It didn't feel
Well,
good. I coughed my face off. But
see,
god
here-
damn it, I was cool.
Well, if you smoked clove cigarettes, you wouldn't cough your face off because it has like a natural anesthetic that coats your throat, so you don't like have that.
That's
throat.
interesting.
You do not have that. It's not like cum. You have a throat hit.
I wouldn't know.
You don't have a throat hit. Oh, nice, nice. Like throw it in there just in case.
I'm not interested. What else you got?
Bitch, I didn't say that.
So let's
I
get into
gotta-
this.
I got a photography question.
Oh, all right. Shoot.
Okay. Ready?
Shoot, right? Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
shoot, that's
so
cute.
I got a question.
Shoot, that's funny.
And I'm sure there's multiple different reasons, and you don't have to get into all of them. I can't take a fucking picture to save my life. Like, they're either blurry, or it's like the kid's smiling. I got to take the picture, and then the kid moves. And it's
What are you
really not the
shooting with?
kid's fault.
Her phone.
What is she with?
Her
What
phone.
My phone.
That's not photography. End of discussion.
Don't leave, man. Sit
Hold
down.
on,
Sit
hold
down.
on.
Don't leave.
Mic drop. Mic drop.
Well, no, I think
Well, I think as lots of listeners could use just a little tidbit of advice.
What's a tip? What's a tip?
Like,
I
is
think
there
Just the tip.
I think
Yeah,
it's
what's
Just the
that's
tip.
that's one of my favorite quotes right there. Just the tip, right? That's
I-
all. That's all
I-
everybody needs.
just a little tip?
Just the tip.
I think
a little tip.
and you
That's all
can
you need.
can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think this sort of goes back to what we were talking about when we were talking about shooting musicians on stage, is that it's about
timing.
that
and
timing
knowledge.
and the at the right moment, the anticipation.
Right.
I think that all sort of goes into it.
So I would say for family photography,
Amateur.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
take your time. Take your time. We're all gonna die. Just enjoy the time that you have.
So that's
So
good, man. That's
don't be in a hurry to get like this crazy picture. Just take your time.
That's really good. I agree with that, and my wife needs to hear that. Because she is if she needs the photo, man, it's come here right now. You have to get like this, and my kids were like, no, I'm out of here. I got to go do other stuff. And they're like, no, she's all freaking out all the time. Just let it naturally happen. Take your time, get a good photo.
I've definitely never done that, but I will say what I started doing is making those like shots that come like 71 in a freaking row.
Burst shots.
I love that stuff.
And at least one of those have to look okay.
So we call that a machine gunner shot. And
That's
there
usually
are,
how I
there
shoot.
are a lot of concert photographers that do that. And
That's how I do it. Anytime I shoot
It's
anything.
a lot of time going through those 71 and going, no, maybe, no. I mean,
and I agree with that. And that's a good reason not to do it. Another good reason not to do it is because it's fucking lazy.
but if you're saying to live in the moment,
Yeah.
live with the moment of the kids, that don't worry about it.
Bitch, you don't need a goddamn photo. You don't need a photo. What did we do in the 1700s? We didn't have fucking
My
cameras.
mom took fucking photos.
You drew it.
My mom.
Your
had-
mom wasn't alive in the 1700s.
No, I mean like when I was a kid in the 80s.
Mom,
Like, we
Mom,
had
she
photo
just called you like
albums.
really
You
old.
Capture the moment. You capture the moment.
Yeah. Well, and I understand.
How many photos do you think survived Hurricane Dorian in the Bahamas?
Oh, now we're
Oh,
getting
man.
now we're getting deep.
Dude, we're talking
We're
maybe
bringing it back.
we're talking
If-
maybe
if
about
you're saying
30%
save
of
the
those
pictures or
photos.
save my children. Fuck the pictures.
Yeah,
I mean
for
we
real.
don't need to go there.
Well, but that's
I
why
was
we
just-
have the cloud.
I just
Yeah.
heard. I
Everything's
just
on the
heard.
internet now.
I just heard a story about a dude whose house, he was on the second story and the water's rushing in. He sends his 5-year-old up on the roof. I'm watching this story with my daughter, who's 17. And so he puts his son, who's 5 years old, on the roof so that he can survive the hurricane, hopefully. And I'm thinking to myself, number one, if I put you on the roof, I'm gonna hold your hand.
Yeah, where was he at?
Tie you down. To the
He's fucking
thing.
inside. I don't get
I'm gonna
that.
put my
No,
son on the roof
no.
while I stay inside the house.
and so his son got swept away and is like,
Oh my
It
his
was-
god,
his son is
That's-
gone.
That's
His son is
awful,
gone.
guys. That's
it was
awful.
the most
His son's gone.
emotional article, and it wasn't
What?
so much that he let the kid go, where he put the child. All of a sudden, wind came through,
Where?
and
oh my God.
all he could remember was having his son reach for him, and he tried, and he kept going back out again and again.
Oh,
I
did
fucking
read that.
teared up like
I
it.
did read about that.
It's just sad. It's so sad, and all the help that needs to be sent needs to be sent.
Why?
Like,
Why
So
was
again,
he
well,
not there
we're-
with
I'm-
his son? Or
I'm
why
not-
not have
No,
his
it-
son with a flotation device of some sort?
Well, it wasn't
it
that
wasn't.
cut and dry.
The water came up so quickly, and they moved from one story to the second story to the next house. They like
Yeah, it rose
tried
really high.
like, and it was bad. And how long did it sit there? For 40 freaking
40
yeah,
hours.
it's crazy as
hours.
fuck.
I'm pretty. And now I'd have a boat. I mean, gosh,
wouldn't be
I hope
there.
I had a boat.
I told Katie. I said I absolutely would have freaked out, and I tend to pride myself as trying to be one of those people that is good under pressure, and in situations like that. I like to think that I'd be able to rise up and lead and all that stuff, but I'm fucking terrified of drowning. And if I was standing in the middle of what looks to be just standing in the middle of the fucking ocean, boy, I'll tell you what, I really would. I'd be losing my fucking mind.
And you'd be dead.
There's a very solid chance.
Well, dude, it's not hard to die. It really
No,
isn't.
but
Like,
but,
we live in the real world, people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes,
like, these
but-
people were
but
caught in
when
their
people-
own shit.
But when people are afraid, you die quicker.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree.
That is true.
Die quicker.
Because your reactions are wrong, and just everything. You
don't
just
think correctly.
yeah. So hopefully I'd be able to rein it in, but So I'm gonna bring this up because we're about an hour and a half in, so
Okay.
we still got another little bit.
2
yet.
hours.
But
Yeah, we just leave it rolling. today.
something that I want to talk about, because for one, it's fucking amazing.
I haven't passed out, so
For-
we're good.
For two,
I like it.
It's-
Troy's
yeah.
in for the haul.
it's
Hell yeah.
it's trending right now because guy is taking a tremendous amount of heat for it.
Yeah, I know.
Is the Dave Chappelle special.
What a legend.
And I'm bringing this
Oh
up.
my
I'm
God,
bringing
that
this
shit
up.
was sick.
I'm bringing this up because I know I saw you post it about watching it and how amazed you were by it. And Katie and I watched it. I actually called Cody. I said, "Hey man, you gotta do some homework. If you haven't watched it, watch this fucking show. It's amazing." He watched it today.
Yeah, I finished watching it today, man. It was fucking. I've seen
You-
I've
oh,
seen
whoa,
his
whoa,
other
whoa,
specials.
hold on a
I've seen
second.
I've watched
You-
Dave Chappelle his whole fucking career.
You finished
I
watching
finished
it.
watching
you did,
it today.
You did not watch it all in one get go.
No, I did.
You said you finished watching
I
it.
started
So-
it and finished
He started
today.
and finished it all in one spot.
It's only an hour long, and then there's another
Oh, it's
20
more-
minutes of
It's more than an
epilogue.
hour long.
It's incredible though. The things
It's like
that
an hour
he
and 5
says,
minutes.
The
All right.
things that he just throws out there.
It was real.
with no
It was
fucking
awesome.
regard for like himself, his career. I mean, I looked at it, and I've watched all these great comedians over the years, and I really got the sense of like we have a new king. Like
That's not even the best
this,
stuff he's done.
it may not be, but it was definitely. It was the most.
It's current.
Was the most current,
Agreed.
but it was the most. It was definitely like the edgiest shit that you could fucking put out there. I mean, think about it. You talk negative at all about LGBTQ.
You talk negative. You just talk about them in general.
Yeah,
Say-
you can't even talk about them.
Yeah, but to talk negative
I mean,
about them.
I mean,
do-
are
the-
you gay? Are you gay?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, then you can't fucking talk about it.
That's right.
So sit
Why
your ass
not?
down. Well,
Why?
because that's the
world-
rules.
That's the rules. That's
Why-
the that's
why is
Exactly.
it-
No, that's not the rules.
You
though,
can
guys.
No, that's
talk
the rules.
Everybody
about
knows
it,
that's not the rules.
that. But that is
But see,
the rules.
that's
That's
the
absolutely
problem.
the rules.
If
But
you
that's-
can't
that's
talk
wrong,
about
though.
it, then
It's wrong.
But that's why it's so cutting
to have that
edge.
stint.
What Dave Chappelle did in this show.
Well, he's a comedian. That's his job.
But still, comedian
There's
or
still
not,
rules even
the things
within.
the things that he said, he knew was just gonna fucking blow up the world.
Oh, of course he
you know?
did.
And I give
course he
him
did.
all the respect in the world for it, because
He gives no fucks.
whatever he was saying, it was definitely edgy, But for two, there was so much truth to it that we just in general aren't allowed to say. Whether you really feel that way or not.
I mean, allowed to say it?
We choose not to say because
Yeah.
we do not want to offend other people.
you don't wanna be
We do
fucking
not want to be
ostracized.
ostracized.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, what do they? What do
Yo,
they say? What
mind
do they say?
melding.
Like, jinx.
Jinx. But no, but I mean, you think about it. You can't talk about LGBTQ. You can't anything negative, and you're done, man.
Well, you can't say that it's negative. You can just say that, that's not. It's not negative to talk about them.
No,
It's just
But if
negative to criticize their actions
But if
in
you-
any way, shape, or form.
But if you do say anything negative or criticize in any way, you're blacklisted. And Dave Chappelle, he doesn't give a fuck. I think he's demonstrated numerous times throughout his career he doesn't give a fuck. He's going to do whatever the fuck he wants. And you know what? People are going to still pay to see Dave Chappelle because he's one of the fucking greatest that ever has been.
oh man, yes.
But I mean, talking about Michael Jackson, and I mean,
He lost me with that one, guys. The pedophile joke kind of. I was like, eh.
but that's the point, is that
I didn't
He
like it
said
either.
it.
I
He
didn't like
said
it
it.
either.
He
But
said it.
no, he said it.
and nobody else is going to
Yeah.
say shit like that.
Right.
So that's the point I'm getting at, is that it's not even, it's not even whether you like the joke or whether you thought it was funny or anything like that, but it's just the fact that some of the shit that he said, people are losing their fucking minds over it right now. They really are.
Only people who have weak minds to
I
begin
agree.
with.
I agree.
They're not confident. Right.
I think people are.
They don't know who they are as Americans.
I think like Dave said, people are just too fucking offended so easily nowadays.
The victim mentality is a shame.
It's rampant.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's fucking irritating.
I thought Dave Chappelle killed it whenever he was like, yeah, anytime someone's fucking accused somebody, I'm always like, well, what'd the victim do?
yeah.
Oh, that was
I'm watching-
fucking sick.
What did he say?
Rihanna, like when
listen,
Chris
that was a
Brown,
little
Chris
wrong.
Brown,
That was a
Chris
little
Brown,
pushy.
Chris Brown beats Rihanna.
Well, what
It's
did
like,
she
what
do?
that bitch do?
What did she do?
Like, dude, he killed me with that one. I'm not gonna lie.
I had an eye lock with my wife. We were watching it. And I was like, you can't see this on radio, but I had like an eye lock with her, and it was hilarious.
But that's the thing, man. Like even getting anywhere near that sort of shit, like you can't make fun of women being assaulted by men. And I'm not saying that you should, but I'm saying
He always prefaced it all with, like, I agree with this, but come on. Like,
yeah.
he was just calling it the way that he...
Like when he's talking about Michael Jackson fucking
He-
these little
he-
kids,
he
and he's
should've-
like,
No,
He-
looking at their assholes.
but
Oh my God, that was like crazy.
you're getting
But
fucked by
that's been
Michael
reported.
Jackson. you
That's
know?
why he mentioned it.
But
because it had been reported.
So he was talking.
it was like, hey,
It was
you know,
in the
hey,
HBO
did-
documentary.
you go to school the next day, you're like, did I get fucked by my uncle? No, bitch, I got fucked by Michael Jackson. What the fuck? This fucking dude, how awesome is that? I got like molested by Michael Jackson, not my uncle. I mean, come on.
But you can't say it. And
But
I
why?
He
get
did.
you
He
can't,
did.
You can't because there's
you
such
can, though.
there.
You just have to have some tastefulness to
So
it.
that
You know
gets
what I mean?
into
No,
a
no,
whole
tasteful.
conversation.
Like his
No,
tastefulness is he's a comedian.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not.
But that's
it's
like
not
he
at all.
couldn't do it if he was a politician.
It gets into a whole
Have
conversation.
you met?
of
Have you met
free
this guy named
speech.
Donald Trump? That motherfucker says whatever he wants.
Well, he's a businessman. Now he's a politician.
No, he's not a politician.
Oh, I was just saying that it gets into a whole new realm of people that advocate for free speech. But if it's speech that they don't want to hear, they knock it down.
That's.
I mean, that's
Amen.
where
Absolutely correct.
that is the stem of all of this. And everybody, if they would quit being so fucking butthurt and just
Yes.
listen, then it would be okay. I mean, have your fucking opinion, but that doesn't mean that you ostracize or shun somebody for having theirs.
They're butthurt because they've been hanging out with Michael Jackson. And
I mean, that was 10 years ago. So if they're still butthurt, it's time to
Staring-
move
staring
on.
at their
well, he
booty
was
hole.
black, you know.
Are you sure?
Well, I don't
Old
know.
black ass. There you are.
So I have a question.
I think
so,
what he's implying is that he still had a large penis.
So
Don't we all?
No, that's a stereotype. I think proven, but stereotype.
I can't see what you're mouthing to.
That's
me.
okay. So, I'm looking over here to my left, and the thing that sticks out to me is that you have a hairband on your wrist.
You never know when you have to put your hair up.
Lots of girls do that, I think. Is that a thing for some? Is that a thing that I don't know about? What is this?
Well,
So
in photography, it doesn't work.
A hairband on the wrist?
Yeah, because
it leaves an impression?
Well, no, because you
Straight edge.
bitches leave it on. You'll like you want to go shoot a model, and they will leave that shit on
the wrist.
Yeah,
And then you have to retake all your fucking photos.
No, you Photoshop it out, or you tell her to take it off before you shoot. Acknowledge it and tell her to take it off.
Okay,
but why
I
can't?
quit.
No, that's when you go. That costs a little bit more, huh?
No, but is it a pain in the butt? Because then in the shoot, it's like your eye draws to that on their wrist. Yeah, I get it.
Well, I'm sure being the artist,
sure
you're
they'll
your
take it
own
off.
worst critic, right? Like,
Well, no, that's the thing.
That's
like,
very true.
because you're freaking seeking perfection in your craft. I'm sure, man. As anyone who's like, dude, I've seen your work, man. The shit is good. You have a good eye. I know you know what's quality too.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get to some of them stories. We're gonna get some good shit.
Backstage stories? What do you got? What stories are we talking about?
Yeah, what you want to talk about?
Oh, so let's talk about bands paying.
Let's talk about it.
So, I remember this one show I went to, and I saw the lead singer of the band. I parked my car. I went up in there. Lead singer, no, it was all local show. Local band, local guy comes up to me. He's like, "Oh, does he say hi?" No. I'm like, okay, I can deal with this. He says, "Hey, where's your camera?" I said, "Well, shit, that bitch." By the way, her name's Alice. She's in the car. And that whore, she doesn't come out of there unless she's paid. I did not see that motherfucker the rest of the night.
That's called pimping.
Do you have you
Not the
had
rest of
a
the night.
lot of issues over the years that you've been doing it with just, bands or models, just not fucking,
Why do you think I want to quit?
do they think you do a lot of you do it for the exposure or whatever? You get any of that?
I got some exposure bucks for you, buddy.
Dude, I just feel like a lot of these bands, man, the music scene is so dead right now, dude. Like, you don't have.
And that's what they count on.
Yeah, it's
they
only
count
gonna
on.
be big shows.
They keep saying, "Oh, we don't get paid anything. We don't get paid anything." So guess what? You shouldn't get paid anything. Guess what? Your bartenders, your venues, all those motherfuckers getting paid. If they're getting paid, why is not everybody else getting paid?
See, and I can
it
tell
doesn't
you
make any fucking sense.
Well, they're not selling drinks. They're not selling out fucking tickets. I guess they are.
My
selling
beautiful
tickets,
pictures bring bitches to your
Right,
show, so you
exactly.
can suck my dick.
Yeah, they need to value what that is. You
Well,
know
and
what
I
I mean?
can-
Like, that's all press for them.
I can tell you that there was a lot of times, a lot of shows over the years, we didn't make a fucking dime. But what I can also tell you is that when we needed pictures, we came out of pocket for that. Like we planned accordingly. It was like, oh, everybody's got to kick in and
It's an investment.
doing pictures. Because it's exactly what it is. It's a fucking investment. I mean, we didn't get up at 5:00 to drive out to that goddamn bridge in the middle of nowhere, for nothing in the cold for nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
it was an investment.
That's
It was,
fun.
it was a great time.
Yeah, and then y'all fucking quit 2
Yeah.
weeks later.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's like you took our goodbye photos.
They were some badass photos, though.
They were. However, I
don't know.
didn't see him on
The-
any website. I didn't see him on the website.
Well, because I didn't. I told you I haven't done anything to the website in forever.
Fisherphotography.com.
Oh, don't go there. Go
FOTO.
Instagram. Yeah, FOTO on Instagram.
That's right.
So are you wanting to steer away from photography? You want to take a break? You said Jimmy Buffett. I assume that means like a hiatus a little bit.
Well, I think he
Little
mentioned
siesta.
earlier he was talking about his daughter, and he never actually got to kind of finish. He mentioned his daughter, and then we kind of interrupted him.
And with that question, I want to lead into, if you're not making money from, musicians and bars and stuff like that, have you been able to do like senior photos or wedding photos or things like that? Because you definitely have a
Or would
knack
you?
and an eye for the lighting and the scenery. So in that form, you could bring in income.
See, because I've seen a lot of people on Facebook that are asking about, photographers needed and stuff like that. And I'm always like, should I throw Troy's name out there, or, does Troy not really do that kind of stuff?
So the last wedding that I priced out was down in Ocala. Chick came to me, said, "Hey, how much for wedding?" I gave her a couple options. The kind of baseline was like $1,400. She was like,
Holy shit.
Yeah, he could get
So,
more than that.
"That's cheap."
Yeah, he could get
That-
a lot more
that's
than that.
cheap.
That's cheap.
I'm selling myself like a fucking like $3 whore.
You and
And-
like one other person, or
No, like
No.
everybody else. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
No, I mean,
that's the
she's-
fucking problem.
Was it you
Was it
and
you
somebody
with-
shooting, or was it just you shooting
No,
the
it's
wedding
just
by
me.
yourself?
Just
oh,
me.
okay.
Yeah. And she came back with can you not do it for like 200? And I was like, you know what I did? Then the next thing I did, unfriend. Unfucking friend.
Well,
you are a fucking cunt.
it's $200 and the exposure. The exposure's priceless.
Nick,
Such a loaded
Nick,
shit.
Nick, when we're done with this, I will see you behind the fucking screen, motherfucker.
No, I actually we got offered a show one time.
He'll bring his gun. Don't worry,
and
though.
somebody said, what do you charge? And I think it was like $400 or something like that. And they said, oh, really? I thought it was, thought y'all just do it for the exposure. It's like, the exposure? Motherfucker. Like, you got to be kidding me. I bet you're paying, the food vendors, and, you're paying, these people over here to do this and do that. Yeah. You got to pay the fucking band.
I don't work for free, bitch.
You
Seriously.
do the exposure for a short amount of time to
when you're
yourself,
very young.
and then
Yeah, fucking
income.
hope and change, goddamn Obama. You see where that got us.
Absolutely nowhere.
Amen.
Well, some people would say it gave us Donald Trump.
I think it gave us transsexuals.
I don't know about that. I think
Okay, I'm okay with
I
the
think
Trump
they'd been
thing, but the
around.
transsexuals, that's some
Nick's like,
psychological
where's
bullshit.
my edit button? God damn it,
I
Cody.
think they had been around before.
I'm just
that,
kidding, man. I
think.
know. It's just a big issue after when he was in office. That's all I'm saying. It became to the forefront a lot.
Well,
So my daughter does female athletics. Well,
That's awesome.
Because she's a girl, so she does female athletics. So when I see stories in the news about guys who, for whatever reason, decide that they want to
yeah.
go another route,
Well,
go ahead, take that other route, but form your own fucking league.
yeah, not from a competitive standpoint.
Do not come in. Okay, you can't compete. You don't want to compete because you're gonna see somebody's willy, so you're gonna hang out with the girls.
Well, and
You're taking away from them.
Why have two different
So-
leagues? Why not just one league?
As the female,
Shit,
being
we need
here,
57 leagues.
Yeah.
There are
As-
57 genders. Why don't you know this?
Right? I mean, why not one? The
as-
best play the best.
Exactly. Why NBA? Why WNBA? You just need the NBA. If you're good enough to play basketball, period, there should be no NBA. You should just play.
Yeah, it's just
basketball.
one thing, man. If you're the best
Well, now-
of the best, doesn't
now-
matter what your sex, orientation, anything.
But
you
I'm going to
play.
throw this out because
Exactly.
because Katie, Katie's played fucking hockey and all this shit, roller derby, soccer, the whole nine, all volleyball. So, as the only female at the table, how does that make you feel?
Whoa, hold on! Do not assume my gender. I do not. No, that is so fucking not cool. Do not assume my gender.
As a libertarian, I would assume that.
Yeah, do not assume my gender. I mean, you may be correct.
I may be.
Do not assume my gender. That is so not cool, dude.
I'm going to assume.
Don't be so offended,
in
bro.
this instance. I'm gonna throw to Katie. What is as the only woman here? As the only person born with a vagina at the table.
Ooh.
How do you feel about that? About basically men going in as women.
So if guys want to be girls, more power to them. Do what you do.
Yeah.
If guys want to play in women's sports, if a man who then starts taking hormones and quote unquote transitions to a woman, I don't give a fuck. Get your own weight class. Get your own class.
Yeah,
They're fine. You're gonna push. Everyone wanted to push for equality. All these women wanted to push for equality. Like, all right, here you go. Here's your fucking equality. Now what are you gonna do about
now
it?
It's sort of biting them in
and
the ass.
instead of feminists, all these
It is.
fucking people who want guys to cross their legs or not sick. I mean, it's every female.
RP
wants
standing up. Thank you.
That shit's a thing.
Every female wants to have their fight. I get it. Every generation wants to have their fight. But the thing is, they're picking bullshit.
Yep.
Like, actually fight for that. The whole, it's just, yeah. Don't agree with the guys playing in the women's sport, wrestling women. Like, don't agree with that. And feminists everywhere, women everywhere should have a problem with it. And if they all stood up, it would change, and the rules would change.
I think it's more insulting to women.
Well, Cody, you had talked before about an MMA fight.
Right.
Who is it?
Oh, okay. So here we go. So,
what's the deal with that?
So in mixed martial arts right now, I'm a huge mixed martial arts guy. I love one-on-one combat. It's like one of my favorite things in the world. Anyways, so Henry Cejudo, he wants to fight. God, what's her name? Shevchenko. So he's the flyweight champion, and he wants to fight the women's flyweight champion.
And I'm just saying,
to become the intergender world champion. How hilarious is that, dude? First of all, it would be the worst thing ever in all of sports, because it would be that man. First of all, he's an Olympian.
Yeah.
He's an Olympic gold medalist, and he's a 2-division champion in the UFC, which is the pinnacle of mixed martial arts. And granted, she is a beast in her own right, but it would just be a mauling on his part. He would take her to the ground, and he would just control her.
But
even
if she stood a chance at it, which I don't have any firsthand knowledge of either one, so I couldn't really say. But
yeah,
I don't want to turn on TV and watch some dude punching some chick in the face.
I don't either.
It's not
I hope
what
it
I
never
see.
happens, dude. I
so.
really don't want to see that.
No,
because the saddest thing is that a lot of people just have this skewed view, man. There really is a difference between men and women, man.
Well,
and
if
you don't acknowledge that as fact, you live in some delusional world.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that there's not women out there who are capable as men or more capable than a man. You know what I mean? Because there are.
Right.
But it's on average, there is a major difference,
Yep.
man.
Yeah.
So there's a professional soccer player, female, who is like this fucking. She's got a leg on her.
She got the Kool-Aid hair.
And she can like kick 50-yard field
Oh,
goals.
55.
Didn't
Oh,
she get
that's
signed?
It was.
Awesome.
It
No,
was.
she hasn't got signed yet.
Fact check
And so-
me. It was 55.
Yes.
I mean,
And-
50 and beyond. Anyhow,
Yeah.
so here's the thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. We should sign her. But here's the thing. We're so caught up in genders and how we should treat people that it's actually unfair advantage, because the guy on the other end who's a linebacker, who's whatever position, he's coming at her.
Yeah.
What's he going to do?
He's going to destroy her.
So,
Well,
You can't do that.
Yes,
That's
you can.
horrible.
You can.
Yes, and as a female,
That's horrible.
She
That's
put
Football,
herself.
it's different.
She wanted to
I
play
agree.
the game,
And
she
I
put
agree.
herself out there.
I agree.
Let her get rocked.
I agree.
I got
she should
rocked
get
enough
fucked up.
in hockey. So
she would get her. She's 100 and whatever pounds. She's gonna get fucked up. But
Kickers don't get hit too often.
and if they do,
Oh,
they get a
shut the
penalty.
fuck up.
They don't.
Here's the thing.
We're gonna go past the penalty. We're gonna go. We're gonna
The
go
biggest thing
past
is
the whistle.
her career.
So I lived in Mickey Andrews. We're going past the whistle.
Well,
I think though if you have a female kicker, man, I think that's a position in football that would be a great position, especially if she can kick 55 fucking yard field goal. Good God, dude, I got some skinny legs, bro. I can't kick no field goals 55 yards.
But you're
I'm a
absolutely
grown
right
man.
though. You're absolutely right though. That
And I'm
would
fairly athletic, dude.
if there's a guy, who's running towards somebody, I don't think that guy's gonna fucking end up just knocking the shit out of that girl.
Okay, so
Yeah,
check this out. I
he's
wrestled.
gonna take his morals.
No.
that he listens
I disagree.
to. Yeah, no.
I wrestled in high school,
There's
bro.
gonna be-
I wrestled in high school,
there's
and we
gonna be
wrestled
that
against women.
contemplation.
I wrestled against women in high school, right?
Yeah.
This happened because in wrestling, bro, if you're a woman and you want to wrestle, there are some women's stuff, but it's far in between. If you're on a high school team, most of the time you are going to wrestle against guys against that weight class.
Right.
That's just what you're going to do. I had a buddy who freaking I'll never forget this guy. Skinny as fuck, probably weighed 125 pounds, something like that. Skinny, curly, afro white guy, right? And he had to wrestle this girl, man. This was to decide our meet, to see if we'd win or not. He wrestles this chick. He slams the shit out of her. Holds her down, pins her, gets up. He's got a raging boner, dude. Raging boner, bro. Freaking referee raises his hand. He's got a rager on himself.
Well, I guess we found the other
Walks off the mat.
disadvantage.
And dude, we had a party of a lifetime afterwards, bro.
That's almost like a perfect closing.
It is, and we are going to say goodbye and good night from the Porchville location. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Porchville Podcast. Find us on porchvillepod.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Stitcher!
Go over to iTunes and Stitcher and download us, subscribe, give us some 5 stars. Once again, Mr. Troy Fisher, the photographer, fisherphotography.com, FOTO, that is. Everybody say, anybody got anything to say on the way out here?
Hey, I love you people, all my Porchvillians. You guys
God
fucking
is
rock.
a lie. God is a lie.
I love you, Lord.
God is a lie.
Katie, bring us home.
Next time.
Next time. This has been the Porchville Podcast. We are out of here.
We're out.